Natives of Sparta, a town in northern New Jersey, Jim and Dan Miller both fight for the largest mixed martial arts promotion on the planet, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, otherwise known as the UFC. They are brothers, and together they opened up the Miller Brothers Mixed Martial Arts Academy.
We opened up in early November of last year, 2014, and we have 7,200 square feet total. We have a 2,800 square foot main mat, 20-foot cage.
The brothers know their food and their beer. In fact, they brew their own and have for years.
We're having a barbecue here at Miller Brothers MMA. It's kind of just giving back to the students that we've had for the last, our first 6 months of being open.
Today on tap we have a pale ale that's made with it's a single hop pale ale with Citra, which gives it kind of a nice fruity, I guess they say passion fruit kind of flavor. It goes really well with the pig. The last time we had a pig roast, I made it, and it went well. It's got a nice bitterness to it as well. And it's a light, light drinking beer, a little over 4%. The other beer on tap is an American stout, and it's basically our brown ale, kind of just bumped up. I just played with the recipe a little bit, and so it's about a 6.5%, and today we're actually randling it through a pound of coffee. So it goes from just a stout, and tasted like a good stout, now to a coffee stout, and it's got a really good flavor to it coming out of the tap today. We like good beer. There's the whole home brewing thing, and even some of the microbreweries. It's kind of, you take brewing to that extreme and adding some really weird things to beer, and they can work and sometimes they don't. We just make regular beer, amber ales, pale ales, brown ales, red ales. We make a few stouts. We make an Oktoberfest that's pretty good. Our take on a pumpkin beer, we make a butternut squash ale based off of our brown ale. And it's just, not really putting anything crazy into it, but just trying to make, beer that's you can have a couple of. We've played with the recipes where we've made a Rausch beer, and I could have one of those. I really couldn't have two, and without having some water or another beer in between. But we stick to kind of the basics and just good, clean, drinkable beer.
But not all beers work out well.
A couple of beers were pretty bad. Twice we did a German alt beer, and I don't know, for some reason twice it went horrible. It went really bad. Came out horrible, and one time it just went bad in the cardboard, and then the other time we tasted bad. But we made it 2 other times. It was actually.
So how do two UFC fighters get into beer brewing?
My buddy and I, a good friend from high school, both love drinking beer and just like tasting beer, different beers. We always were trying in new beers, and we kind of, Dan got into it years ago, kind of fell out of brewing for a little bit, and then I had seen him doing it and had some of his beer and wanted to give it a shot, and a couple years later, so it was probably about 5 years ago, got back into it, and we've been steadily working into bigger batches and better beer, and developing our own recipes, and that's what we have here today.
Exactly how much beer do the brothers brew, and where do their ideas come from?
Right now, Jim and I can make 20 gallons. So we can make a 20-gallon batch. Normally, we do about a 10-gallon. Just kind of talk to each other and figure, I want to make this, I want to make that. We'll go back and forth, and but we usually always settle on something, a pale ale or an IPA or something like that. Just good stuff.
I'm not going to make the mistake of one of my employees and dropping the whole beer. We made it. Oh wow, it's getting more intense on the coffee. The first cup I had was just a little bit in the background. Now it's pretty intense with the coffee. People are going to be all caffeinated and fired up in a little bit. We made it a little bit. We bumped up the alcohol content to pull off the oils, in the coffee. So it's really coming through, and it's coming out good. Cheers.
So what sets the Miller Brothers apart from other home brewers? And do they plan to market and sell their beers?
I don't. When it comes to setting us apart, I don't know. Maybe the fact that we are, professional fighters. So yeah, I don't know of any other fighters that brew. I know quite a few that enjoy good beer, but I don't know of any that have taken the leap into home brewing.
It's kind of a plan in the future to kind of do either have a brew pub or a brewery. Try to figure that out now. Try to get this place up and going, and take one venture at a time. But it is something that we see in the future that we'd like to do.
Eventually, we are going to have a brew pub. It's when I was 19 years old, I dreamt of being a fighter, and that came true. And there are a couple other things that I've put my mind to that have happened, and I used to want and basically dream of having a pub, having a bar, and I know it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know we can do it. I know we make good beer, so it's just a matter of running into the right people and kind of just timing basically, and finding the right spot. So it will happen. There will be, I don't know what we'll call it, because obviously Miller's out of the question. But we'll have beer available hopefully in the next couple of years.
The Miller Brothers know how to fight. They know how to cook. They know how to brew beer, and they even agree on their favorite beer outside of their own.
Founders, the All Day IPA. I love that beer. It goes down so easy. It tastes so good. That's just it all year. I love that beer. It's so good.
All-time favorite, that's a tough one. I like a variety. Especially at the gym. The hot last couple weeks we've had. We go through a lot of Founders All Day IPA. It's too easy to drink and too good, and it's light enough, but a good enough flavor to drink a lot of, and it comes in a 15 pack, so that's 3 extra beers.